We don't divide things simply into good and bad, right and left. There is a vagueness, a sense of ma, or space between things. That's how the universe itself is constructed. When we meditate, we can't separate ourselves from nature. It's very important. The entire universe is concentrated in a garden. The garden allows us to contemplate nature, to become one part of nature. Our approach is based on these ideas.
In the garden at Ryoanji, everything unnecessary was left out. There are only a few clusters of rocks and lines in the gravel. Philosophically, this brings up matters of Zen which I don't really care for. But if it's seen in totally modern terms, to do something in a nearly empty setting, that can be very interesting. Even doing Western theater. For example, if we were staging a Greek tragedy, it might be best to perform it on an empty set. Or Shakespeare, his plays could be done with no set at all. Something may seem to be there, even though it has been eliminated. This approach to design is widespread among the Japanese. There's a kind of abbreviation, the elimination of things. It's especially true in some Japanese gardens. I think that's the influence of the team master Rikyu, the world of mu, of emptiness.
The tea master, Rikyu, insisted on austere simplicity in the practice of tea and its related arts. In time, Rikyu's taste permeated much of Japanese culture. Centuries later, his descendants continue a practice that has been described in the following words. In my hands I hold a bowl of tea. I see all of nature represented in its green color. Closing my eyes, I find green mountains and pure water within my own heart. Silently drinking, I feel these become a part of me.
This villa, built by Emperor Go-Mizuno, is composed of the upper tea house here and the middle and lower tea houses. This whole area is referred to in that way. Not just the tea hut itself, but the entire garden is called a tea house. I think that's because the influence of tea is fundamental here. And what is that influence? It's the pursuit of that which is most simple, the most essential in human life. That's what tea practitioners are after. This garden is very different from those at Zen temples. It's another expression of the garden aesthetic. But at a fundamental level, the two approaches are quite similar. What you see in this garden is the broad face of the natural world. A Zen garden demands that you grasp all of nature in one moment, all at once. Here you are told to take your time. There's that difference. But in the end, both ask that you go beyond the garden, spiritually. That you look at the garden not merely as an object, but also as a path into the realm of the spirit. You were meant to move slowly through this garden, to enter gradually into an idealized configuration of nature, into an ideal image of nature. You would come out from Kyoto, the city, and climb up here. There were intense political struggles going on, and the people would retreat up here for a poetry gathering hosted by Gomizuno. And the garden was constructed so that by the time they arrived, everyone would be ready to compose their poems.
共通の状態にまでなるようにね、そういうふうに仕組まれてると思いますね。
When you come here into this wide open space, and hear, for example, the sound of a bird, a single bird, and the bird song echoes over the hills, it's wonderful material for poetry.
What Sugar Queen does so well is to borrow the neighboring valleys and hills. This makes for a friendly, intimate, gentle space. In contrast, the garden at Katsura closes out the rest of the world. It's a confined space.
The design of the buildings at Katsura is very refined. Most of the lines are straight, verticals and horizontals. Perpendicular lines suggest tranquility, while diagonals tend to cause uneasiness. Katsura uses mostly verticals and horizontals. That's why it feels so calm and elegant. In some places, the lines are slightly curved or swollen. I think that's by design. If they were absolutely straight, they'd feel too rigid. People explain this in various ways, but I think the slight curve gives the line a softer feel.
When I write a piece of music, I note on the score the kind of emotion I have in mind. I may think a piece about a garden should be calm and still. But at the same time, it should be a strong calm. So I say ecstatic. One might think you can't combine the two, calm and ecstasy. But there are moments in a Japanese garden that are very still and restful, but something intensely sensual, almost erotic, is going on at the same time.